So again, find that seated position. The soles of the feet are flat on the floor, about hip distance apart with the knees, and then lengthening that spine up, relaxing the shoulders down. You can place the hands on your thighs, or maybe the palms are up in prayer. So up to you. Find that comfortable seat, maybe shift around if you need to, and then begin to soften the eyes. So maybe it's completely closing them, or maybe you find a soft gaze at something directly in front of you on the floor. Begin to arrive to your practice. So maybe that involves scanning the body, noticing any areas of sensation, maybe even scanning the mind, noticing if there's a lot of movement with the thoughts, or are they a little bit more calm today as you begin your practice. It's important that we find out exactly where we are beginning our practice mentally, physically, even spiritually, so that we can know exactly how to get to where we'd like to be. Start to notice that breath, that life inside of you. Maybe you recall the source of the breath as you notice each inhale and each exhale. Knowing that the same breath that began life is in you and it's in me. It's from God. So his strength is inside of me and you and everything that we do, whether it's mentally or physically. Begin to notice that consistency in our breath. Each inhale followed by an exhale, followed by another inhale, another exhale, etc. So it's a very continuous pattern. You might even bring some awareness to the gift that is in that consistency, that each breath is a gift from God. Each inhale is another chance, another strong moment. Just begin to deepen that breath, so lengthening each inhale. Maybe placing a hand on the belly and noticing how that expands the belly. Exhale, relaxing the shoulders, maybe noticing any other areas you might be holding tension. Again, with each inhale, we inflate that belly, expand through the ribs, the chest. With each exhale, the belly pulls in towards the spine as we engage those abdominal muscles. Take about 5 more breaths here to yourself. Maybe 3 to 5 second inhales and 3 to 5 second exhales. This is a great time to set that breath that you can maintain through your practice. So we're nice and still. We find that breath, that consistent inhale, that controlled breath. So you exhale, relaxing a little bit more. Then we'll find some movement. So we gotta try to maintain that breath even through the movement. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. Deep inhales. And long exhales. Another breath just like that. And as you exhale, exhale, drop the chin towards your chest. Staying here for a breath. On that next inhale, begin some neck rolls so the right ear goes to the right shoulder, keeping both shoulders relaxed. Then roll it back through center. Exhaling over to that other side. Again, left ear to the left shoulder. Just back and forth. You know your range of motion. Try to get to that point to where you feel a stretch on the side of the neck. If it hurts, back off. Always. Not pushing past that point where our body stops us. Back over to that right side. Extend that left arm out. It's at a diagonal. It's in between our hips and shoulders. We're reaching those fingertips out to maybe the corner of the room. So there's a little bit of a stretch in the arm, in the neck, all along those areas. You begin to open and close the fists. Notice how that changes the pose. And gently rest that hand down. Bring that left ear to the left shoulder. Again, extending that right arm out. So it's not yet at hip distance, not at shoulder. It's kind of in between here. Again, relaxing both shoulders. We're reaching with those right fingertips. You open and close the fists here. And gently bringing that hand back to our lap. We're going to bring left ear towards, or right ear towards the right shoulder, extending that left arm one more time. And then either placing it underneath our glute or on the side of our chair. And we're just stretching that side of our neck. If this feels okay, you can stay here. Maybe begin to take the chin towards the right armpit. And if that feels good, you can begin to nod the head. So at any point, if you start to feel any pain, any sharp twinges anywhere, back off, come back to center. Just come back to that place to where you aren't pushing your body. Bring it back through center with the neck. Slowly place that hand back on our lap. We're going to drop left ear towards that left shoulder. Staying here, extending that opposite arm out. And then placing it either underneath the glute or the side of your chair, just stabilizing yourself here. Feeling that stretch alongside the neck, maybe even through the arms. Again, you can try that variation where you take the chin towards that left armpit. So stay here or try that nod on this side. So we're just flossing that neck muscle, kind of stretching it in a different way. Slowly, neck comes to center, chin drops towards the chest. Our hands come back on our thighs. We're just going to place the hands on our knees with the palms down and begin our cat-cows. So as you inhale, pull the sternum forward, squeeze the shoulder blades. You bring that gaze up towards the ceiling. Eyes can stay closed, we're just taking the neck back. As you exhale, tuck the chin, round out the back. Keep that connection with the knees. Again, Inhale, sternum pulls forward, we squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, tuck the chin, round out through the back, pull the shoulder blades apart. Another one here, just like that. Inhale, chest goes forward, squeeze those shoulder blades, take the neck back if that feels comfortable. Exhale, tuck the chin, round out through the back. Maybe notice that rotation that happens in our pelvis here. On that next inhale, begin to transition into our torso rolls. So we're going to take the sternum forward as we inhale, kind of leaning forward. As you exhale, over to the side. Maybe rounding out as you exhale, thinking of that cat-like spine. Over to that other side. Forward, we inhale. Exhale, rounding out, tucking the chin. Exhale, over to that opposite direction. Back forward. Again, inhaling forward. Exhaling back. Maybe take it in the other direction if you haven't already. Nice, slow, controlled movements. Loosening our hips. Even through that lower back and upper back area. Bring it back through center. Slowly bringing the upper body up. You can blink the eyes open or keep them closed if you'd like and just listen to my voice. We're just going to begin some rotations through the arms. So always externally rotate those arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to our heart. Take another two just like that. Inhale, circle, reach high, get tall. Exhale, hands to our heart. One more. Inhale, circle, lengthen that spine. You exhale, hands come down to our heart. Taking a pause here, maybe softening the eyes one more time. We'll set that prayer, reminder, whatever it is that you need to hear today, maybe taking a verse from the Bible and repeating it to yourself in this moment. Our prayer is very important in our practice, even off of our chairs, because it helps keep the mind focused on our purpose or what's important to us. Just take another deep inhale here. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Another breath just like that. Deep, slow inhale. Open the mouth, exhale. Begin to blink those eyes open, releasing the arms down. We'll begin some sun salutations, so just follow my lead. We'll inhale, circle, reach high, maybe you look up. As you exhale, begin to fold the body forward. You can widen your knees here to allow the body to fall in between. We're going to inhale halfway, cactusing those arms so the elbows are going back. We're squeezing the shoulder blades just as before. Exhale, fold. Adding something a little bit different, we're going to place the left hand underneath the face. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, right arm comes down underneath the face. We're going to inhale, left arm goes up. Exhale, both hands come down. We're going to inhale, straighten the arms, bring the upper body up. Exhale, hands to your heart. We'll take a couple more rounds just like that. Again, inhale, circle, reach high, maybe look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway, cactus the arms, squeezing those shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. Place left hand underneath the face. Inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, right arm comes down. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand down. Inhale, straighten the arms. Reach both arms forward. Our thumbs are facing up. We'll exhale, hands to our heart. Another 3 more rounds. We'll inhale, circle, tie. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway, cactus arms, squeezing those shoulder blades. Exhale, fold. This time, right hand underneath the face. We'll inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right hand begins to reach up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, straighten the arms, bring the upper body up. We'll exhale, hands to our heart. 2 more rounds. Inhale, circle. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway, cactus arms. Exhale, fold. Right hand underneath the face. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, left hand comes down. Right arm reaches up. Exhale, right hand comes down. On our next inhale, big breath brings the upper body up as we reach the sternum forward. We'll exhale, hands to our heart. Last one here, if you would like to, maybe closing the eyes, bringing that attention inwards. We're going to inhale, circle, reach high, get tall. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, halfway, cactus arms. Exhale, fold. This time, left hand underneath the face. Reach that right arm up. Exhale, right hand comes down. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Release that left hand down as you exhale. Straighten those arms, reach forward, get long. Exhale, hands down to our heart. You can begin to bring those knees back together to about hip distance. Again, closing the eyes here, pressing those thumbs against the chest, just feeling that heartbeat, maybe noticing the warmth we've created in the body. Take a moment to catch that breath. Allow it to return back to that nice, controlled rhythm we started our practice with. Take another breath here. On that next inhale, releasing the fingers down. We're just going to open and close the arms. So extending the arms out, we're going to cross left arm on top. And then coming out, right arm goes on top. Doing that a couple more times, engaging the brain, making sure we're focused. Each time, the opposite arm goes on top. So once you land on left arm on top, we're going to find our eagle. So you can begin to either find the first variation, which is a simple hug. So just grabbing for those shoulder blades and just squeezing, giving yourself a big hug. Or if you'd like to, hooking the arms to find this variation with the palms facing out. Again, just finding that opposition, pressing both arms into one another, or interlace the fingers, and this would be considered the most advanced. So just taking whatever feels good on your shoulders, on your arms, and making sure our shoulders are in line with our elbows. We're reaching those forearms forward, or if you're in that hug, you just keep on hugging. Carefully release the arms, extending them out, and then we're going to come into the other side. So our left arm goes on top. You can again find that hug variation. staying here and just keep reaching those fingertips as far back as you can get them. Or variation number 2, with our palms out, again finding that elbow and shoulder alignment, reaching forearms forward, or interlacing the fingers and pulling those forearms forward still. So just make sure we're breathing, we're holding our posture, but we got to keep that breath going. So another breath here. Your exhale, you can slowly release the arms, reaching them out, and then shaking them out, letting them go. We're going to try something a little bit different. So we've done opposite arm, opposite leg, standing. We're going to try it seated. So we're going to start with our left leg. So extending left leg, our right arm reaches up. Drop it down. Coming into the other side, right arm or right leg extends, left arm reaches up. So just going back and forth with that movement, we're just starting to bring blood flow to those our extremities using big movements. So lots of movement happening with the blood moving into those areas, warming up our body, our legs. Maybe you focus on flexing the foot, reaching those fingertips higher. We'll take another round on both sides. Your pace, and then setting it down. We'll come up into a standing position, and this you can do with the arms extended out, or maybe you cross them across the body if you have any lower back issues, just to keep yourself a little bit more supported. We're going to take the heels behind the knees just a little bit, scooting to the edge of your chair if you're not there already. Begin to pull the sternum forward just as we did before. We're going to inhale and bring the body up. As you exhale, sit back into your chair. Try not to plop down. We'll take a couple more rounds just like that. Inhale, coming up. As you exhale, reaching those hips as far back as you can get them. And then sitting down gently. A couple more rounds, maybe 2 more. Inhale, come up. Exhale, sit back. This last one brings us up. From here, we're gonna do I was planning on sitting down, but then I changed my mind. So a little bit of a pulse here. So we're gonna inhale, sit the hips back. As you exhale, straighten the body, come up. Again, inhale, push those hips back. Exhale, bring the body up. Do 3 more. Inhale, sit back, almost into our chair. And then we come up, 2 more. Inhale, back. Exhale, up. Last one. Inhale, hips pull back. Pausing here for just a moment. And then bringing it up. Release those arms, shake them out, maybe shake out the legs if you need to. We'll come on over to the back side of our chair. So we'll find our down dog. So you can begin to walk those feet back. You can keep a bend here if it starts to bother the hamstrings, or we're just going to stretch the arms out. Again, maybe bending the elbows if the shoulders hurt here. And just allow the neck to fall in between the arms. So staying here, noticing how this feels, maybe rocking the hips from side to side, finding movement, bending the knees. Or you could just stay in that stillness, just pressing the hands into your chair as you relax that neck. So just imagine that bowling ball head, so we want to keep it nice and heavy. Take a couple more breaths here, maybe 2 more. And with that last breath, maybe find some stillness in your movement. Next breath, begin to walk those feet forward towards your chair. And from here, we'll bring the body straight and we'll take our heel raises with opposite arms. So we're gonna inhale and come high on the toes, reach the left arm up. As you exhale, sit back on the heels, drop that left hand down, and come high on the toes. Come back on those heels, we'll extend the right arm up this time. Exhale, drop that hand down, heels come down, toes come up. Inhale, come high on the toes, left arm reaches up. Exhale, hand comes down, move back on the heels, toes come up. Back on the toes, we inhale, right arm reaches up. Exhale, bring that right arm down, come high with those toes. So from here, we will come into a little bit of an ab exercise. So coming onto the side of your chair, we're gonna cactus this arm, and then we'll bend this knee. So maybe bring it to as high up as you can get it, maybe even to parallel with the hip, so the knee is parallel with the hip. We'll take elbow to knee, so as you inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, squeeze it in. So it doesn't have to touch, but we're just aiming for it. So take 3 more, in and back out. In, back out, maybe lengthening the arm and the leg. And then bending one more time, bringing it in, this time holding it. And then releasing that stretch, bringing both arms and legs down. So it's your choice. You can turn around or just flip your chair. We'll come on to the other side. So again, finding cactus arms with that outside arm, and then bending the knee, maybe bringing it as far up as you can on this side, and then we'll take our crunches here. So again, we're crunching on the exhale. So inhale here, exhale, crunch. Inhale up, exhale, crunch. Take 3 more. Inhale, exhale. This time releasing both arm and leg out. We'll bring it in as we exhale. Out, stretch. And squeeze it in as you exhale. This time, extend the arm and leg. And then we'll hold it with that last crunch. So holding elbow to knee. And releasing it, stretching out. And then carefully resting that leg down, maybe taking whatever you need in between. From here, we'll take our curtsy lunges. So first we'll start by warming up our hip muscles. So maybe bending the leg here and just starting to rotate through that hip joint. So maybe placing the hand on that hip and just noticing the movement that's happening in the hip here. Go ahead and reverse your rotations if you haven't already. And then straighten that leg with the toes pointing forward. And we're going to extend it out to the side. Maybe I'll come on over here. So we'll extend it out to the side. So our toes are still pointing forward. Maybe notice if you pronate a little bit. And just notice that muscle that helps us reach that leg out to the side. Try to keep from toppling over, just keeping that upper body still. And then from here, we'll take that or the leg, and we'll cross it over the front and just take a little bit of a curtsy. Again, extending that leg out and then taking it back behind. And again, curtsy on this side. Take it out one more time. Toes are pointing forward. We cross it. Maybe from here, you might let go of your chair or float the hands on top here. Again, extending that leg out. Toes are pointing forward. Curtsy behind the leg. Might take the balance here, or maybe float the hands, or just keep the hands on the chair. Slowly bring it out. Maybe find some marches, maybe some skis. So here we're just taking one knee across the other. So stretching those muscles that we just tightened up. And we'll try that same sequence on the other side. So bending your opposite leg and just starting those hip rotations. This is an artificial movement, not one that we would typically do walking around in daily life. So it's really good to find a time to just move that hip in this way. So if you haven't already taken those rotations in the other direction, you can try them here. And then extend that leg out. So our toes are pointing forward. Always check, maybe take a peek at them. And then begin to open the hip up on the outside of the hip. Strengthen that muscle, it's very important with our balance. And then slowly bringing it back in, we're going to cross it over the front leg. So taking our curtsy here, sitting back in those hips. And then bringing it back up. We'll try it on the other side. So taking the leg back behind. Again, curtsy on this side. Straightening the body. This time you can start to see if you want to take it without the hands. So crossing the leg over in the front, sitting back, maybe releasing those hands. And then come up. Straighten the leg out to the side, sweep it back behind, curtsy on this side, maybe releasing the hands here. Slowly find your way back up. Again, wiggling out the legs, shaking them out here, whatever you need. And then we'll try another balance. So placing the left leg, grounding it into the ground. We're going to extend left arm up and then start to bring the left arm or the left leg out. So at first it was down. Now we're reaching it, maybe finding some movement here with the toes, with the hands. And then if you'd like even more, you can start to reach the other hand. So maybe you're not there yet. We can just start by floating our hands on our chair. And then slowly dropping that side. Again, maybe taking those skis in between. And then we'll try that same movement on the other side. So grounding with that left leg. Well, both legs are on the ground. We're going to reach the right arm up, and then the left leg will join. So staying here, and this could be your variation, or you could start to find some movement. Maybe you circle out the ankles, maybe you circle out the wrists, open and close, point and flex. And then if you want to, you can start to release that opposite hand. So we're balancing on one foot. Again, you could just have that hand always floating because it's still a balance here. And then slowly release that side. Again, taking those skis. And from here, we'll come back into our chair. So come back to that seated position. We'll start to let's try something a little bit different. So this is a before and after stretch. So it involves our feet somehow connecting to our neck, and I'll explain that here in just a little bit. First, we'll place our hands on our thighs, relax those shoulders, and then on an inhale, I want you to look up. So see how far back you can look up comfortably without bothering the neck. And maybe record how far back you can go. And then slowly bring that neck back forward. Drop your chin towards your chest here for just a breath. And then bring that neck back up. We'll come to our feet now. So go ahead and slide your right foot forward. Our sole of your foot is still on the floor. We're going to flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot down, slide the foot back, place the mounds of the toes down, release the toes up towards the ceiling. So again, slide that foot forward, flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot down to the floor, slide it back, release the toes up, keep the mounds of the toes on the floor. One more on this side, straighten that leg, flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot, slide it back, release those toes up. So we'll come into that other side doing the same thing, sliding the left sole forward, sole of the foot is still on the ground, flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot down, slide it back, release the toes up towards the ceiling. Two more times, slide the foot forward, flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot, slide it back, release the toes. One more. Straighten the leg forward, flex the foot, curl the toes, drop the foot down, slide it back, toes up towards the ceiling. So from here, we'll do that same stretch. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, begin to look back. Just notice if you've gained any length. Maybe you can see a little bit further back behind you. And then bring it back to that neutral position with the neck. So the reason we are able to stretch our feet and somehow affect our neck is because we have a fascia that actually connects our feet. It's at the bottom of the feet, it's in the arch of the foot, all the way around our body up to our neck. So go ahead and cross your legs just as I have here, finding that pigeon pose. And then just begin to curl the toes and then pull them back towards the shins. So this little movement here is somehow connected to the back of our necks. And so just stretching our toes can actually affect how much range of motion we get in our neck. Let's actually stay here, and we'll take a little bit of a twist. So take that right hand to the knee, or the hand to the knee, whichever side you're on, and then either place the opposite hand on the side of your chair, just twisting the torso over to the side, or you can take that hand and place it on the back of your chair. Again, same twisting motion. And remember, we're always twisting on our exhale. That's when our body creates that space. So take an inhale, long spine. As you exhale, twist. Slowly release, bringing it back forward. And from here, we'll take a counter stretch. So you'll take your hand either to your calf, maybe to your ankle, maybe it's to the heel, wherever fits for you. And again, placing the hand on the side of the chair or the back of the chair, we'll take a twist on this. Always remember, lengthen on your inhale. As you exhale, begin to find a deeper twist. And then notice that back shoulder. See if it's pulling up towards the ear. We want to relax it down to create more of a long neck here. Slowly release this side. From here, we'll take our pigeon variation. So if staying here is just enough for you, maybe you just focus on flexing that top foot and just applying some gentle spiraling pressure to open up this top thigh, feeling it maybe in the hip. You could stay here, or if you'd like to, you can begin to fold forward, where it's less of a fold, more of a lengthening. So what we want to do is pull the chest forward so that our nose goes over our toes. And then from here, maybe you place your hands on the hips and notice the rotation that happens in the hips. So we go from hips at neutral, and they kind of spill forward to keep the long spine. Again, maybe placing a hand on the back, noticing if you have a little bit of a curve. If you do, just bring it up to where our spine is straight, and this is your pigeon pose. So let's take a couple more breaths here. You might even close the eyes. This is a great stretch to hold for a little bit longer to help release that big hip joint, even help with any lower back tightness. Let's take another 2 breaths. To exhale, see where you can release some tension. So whether it's somewhere in the face, maybe it's in the shoulders still, they keep creeping up. Start to relax. One last breath. And on your exhale, holding a little bit more, deepening that posture. And slowly find your way back up. Release that sole of the foot down. Maybe rock the knees from side to side if you'd like to, even taking a little bit more of a wider rock to release the hips. We'll come back to the edge of our chair, and we'll take that opposite leg. So we'll cross ankle over thigh, just as we did before, and just curl and flex those toes. Taking care of our feet can help in our activity, because if you have healthier feet, you'll be more likely to move without any pain. A couple of more curls, flexing the toes up towards the shin. Come back to that forward position. If you were leaning a little bit more forward, we'll take a twist here. So taking that left hand to the outside, or whichever hand it is for you, to the opposite knee. And then we'll take it either with the outside hand on the chair, or maybe it's on the backrest of your chair. So find that pose for you, and then come back to that breath. With the inhale, we're lengthening, and then with the exhale, we're twisting. Slowly find your way out of that, and then we'll take a counter stretch. So taking the hand to either calf, ankle, or heel, and the opposite hand again on the side of the chair. Maybe it's on the back. Again, we're lengthening with our inhale, and then as we exhale, we're deepening our twist. Notice that back shoulder, pull it away from the ear. Slowly unwinding. Back in that forward position, maybe you place your hands on the hip points here, reminding yourself to kind of tilt the pelvis forward. So staying here, maybe pressing on that top thigh and flexing the top foot, or beginning to lean all the way forward to where you start to feel a stretch. If you feel like you've gone too far, you can always double check, placing the hand on the lower back area, and then lifting up to that point that keeps our spine long. Again, focusing on pulling the chest forward to where our nose goes over our toes. So that doesn't have to be very far. Begin to close your eyes here. And notice any areas you might start to hold tension. As we take that tension at the hip, might travel to other areas. So checking in with the eyebrows, maybe even the jaw. You feel any tension there, just relaxing that area in between the eyebrows, the forehead, wiggling out the jaw a little bit. If you find that your mind starts to wander, always come back to that breath or that prayer that you said at the beginning of your class. Another 2 breaths here. See if you can take the deepest inhale and the deepest exhale with each one. One more. Staying in our posture as we exhale. And at the end of that breath, once you feel complete on this side, go ahead and bring the body up, placing that sole of the foot down, and then begin to rock those hips just as we did before. And next we'll come into our hamstring stretch. So extending either leg, maybe you know you have a tighter hamstring, so you can start with that leg. Our toes are pointing up towards the ceiling. Again, long spine here. And then we're doing that tilt of the pelvis. So we're tilting the pelvis forward as we lengthen over that leg until we find a point where we feel that stretch on the back of that straight leg. So from here, you can rest the hands on the bent leg. Maybe it's on the upper thigh of the straight leg, shin, or even the toes. So find whatever variation fits your body. We'll take about 2 to 3 breaths here. Maybe you notice that expansion that happens in the lower back as you expand the belly. And then as you exhale, you'll find that maybe you can deepen your posture a little bit more. Take your time finishing up that last breath. Then begin to walk the hands up the leg, just bringing the body back up. We'll do that same thing on the other side. So extending your opposite leg long. Our toes are pointing up. We can place our hands on the hips to just remind us to kind of tilt the pelvis forward to allow for more length here. Pull the chest forward, finding that point on this side. It may be different than the other side, and that's okay. You can place the hands on the bent knee or upper thigh, calf, or toes of that straight leg. So Go ahead and set up your posture, get any little movements out, and then take about 2 to 3 breaths here. So depending on how long your breath is will be how many breaths you take. Try to stay present for each one of those breaths. Like, take that last breath together. Deep inhale, expanding the belly. And then with your exhale, finding a deeper fold. Try to stay in your posture until you completely exhaled all the air out. And then gently finding your way up, maybe walking those hands up that straight leg. Slowly coming back to that seated position. We'll just end our practice with 3 cat-cows, just as we did at the beginning of our class. So placing the hands on the knees, we're going to inhale into our cow, broadening those shoulders. Maybe you look up if the neck allows. You exhale, tuck the chin, round out through the back. 2 more. Inhale, chest goes forward. We squeeze the shoulder blades as we look up. Exhale, tuck the chin, round out through the back. Last one. Inhale, chest forward. Squeeze shoulder blades, look up. Exhale, tuck the chin, round out through the spine. Slowly come back to that neutral position with the spine. Same seated position that we started our class. So from here, our palms again can stay down if that feels comfortable, or you can place the palms to where they're open to the heavens in prayer. Again, relaxing those shoulders away from the ears. Begin to soften the eyes, maybe even to a close. Or again, finding that focal point, something in front of you that is not moving, to help keep your focus during our meditation. So this is the most important pose of our practice, the most important part of our practice, because we allow everything that we've done throughout our flow to kind of sink in. Start to relax into your chair and softening through the forehead, the eyebrows, relaxing the cheeks, really wiggling that jaw out just a little bit if you feel any tension there. Relax the hips, relax those inner thighs, relax the arms, relax the toes. Start to melt into your chair. Let's take about 3 cleansing breaths here. That's a deep inhale through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. Another 2, just like that. Deep, slow inhale. Open mouth, exhale. Last one here, we'll hold it at the top. Deep inhale. Hold it. You get another sip of air. Open the mouth, exhale, let it go. Keep exhaling, 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 getting all that air out. And just allow that breath to return back to its organic form. We start our meditation, maybe come back to that intention or your prayer that we said at the beginning of our class. And as we sit here through our meditation, you can always come back to that prayer to keep your mind focused, or you can come to the breath. So both of those are two great tools in our toolkit to keep our mind focused. So you find your mind start to wander, just know that it's natural. Just allow it to come back. The breath is always there. Allow those thoughts to float by like clouds. So not getting hung up on any stories we might be making in our head, or any thoughts that just might be coming about. Let's take 7 more breaths here. Deep inhales, inflating the belly. And long exhales, letting all that air out of the body as we begin to relax a little bit more into our posture. We're about halfway there. Keep reeling the mind back in. Keep it focused on this very moment. Begin to bring some awareness back into the body, finding some little movements in the toes, maybe opening and closing the fists. I'm going to share a verse from 1 Corinthians 6:12. All things are lawful for me, but all things are not helpful. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. All bring our hands to our hearts and pressing that thumb against the chest, feeling the heartbeat. Just take a moment to reflect back on your prayer, maybe sending out a prayer for somebody in need as we sit here together, knowing that God is in our midst. Take a deep inhale through your nose. Open the mouth, exhale, sigh it out, let it go. in me sees and honors the light in each one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me here today. Yeah, so like come on YouTube, maybe comment. We'll yeah, ask any questions you might have, and I'll be here to answer them. Maybe even on Facebook. So we got
And don't forget, if you're not catching it live, you can rewatch